Hello and welcome to the winners bracket semi-finals of the Newbie Rumble 4 tournament. In this match we have the Sniper by Jeoshy on the right versus the Copper Serpent by airpnp on the left. So let's have a quick look at the entries. This is the Copper Serpent by airpnp. Those 3 APS on the top, missiles on the back, decoy on the bottom. Fairly standard sort of battleship design. Over here we have the Sniper by jeoshy with its 2 powerful sniping APS on the top. Lasers for looks, fairly sleek looking craft. Let's get this match going. In 3, 2, 1, fight. Joshy's craft is firing away, picking away at the Serpent. Doesn't appear to have fired yet. Oh, there it is. Oh, and it is getting shredded. It's getting holes poked in it. There go the missiles. Some of them not quite knowing where to go, apparently. Making a few hits on the Sniper. Seeing some blocks come off. Some interceptors doing some work. Sniper is making its distance. Both opponents staying very far away from each other, and here comes that next missile barrage. Can it make it? No, they're getting decoyed, sorry, intercepted. And the Sniper is jumping out of the water for some reason. I think it's trying to reverse, but then it goes too far, and then it tries to go forward, and then just jumps forward out of the water. I think it's possibly hitting itself with its own gun. When it's doing that, you see it sort of like shooting itself from the inside. Sort of lurching back and forward. The Sniper is down to 93, or the Copper Serpent is on 90. It's slightly worse for wear. Big hole you can see through there. Both opponents down to 90%. Seems that those missiles are proving fairly effective against the Sniper. The ones that know where they're going, at least. And the Sniper is having some sort of propulsion issues, where it seems to sort of jump up and down a bit. And there it goes, dolphining out of the water. Still firing with those destructive APS. The interceptor's not quite enough to keep up. And it's doing a weird reversal maneuver. See, it's sort of exposed a bit on the top there now. Both opponents at like practically the same amount of health. Copper Serpent now is taking a dive in terms of health. You can see that top has been ripped off. There go the missiles. Don't seem to know where they're going, which is unfortunate. Potentially looking at a longish battle. Sniper still has plenty of resources, while the Copper Serpent has only got about 7,000 left. There go the missiles that have proved relatively effective so far. The Sniper still able to fire, however. Not quite enough though, as there's still a few remaining. Haven't knocked out the guns, however, they're still firing. just be a battle of attrition where the sniper will simply outlast the Copper Serpent, drain it of its materials. Sniper seems to be slowly repairing itself, while the Copper Serpent is really seems to be seem to be getting worse for it, unfortunately. See that APS doing its work. Although the sniper is taking some hits. A few blocks falling off. And the Copper Serpent seems to be in trouble. Seems to be listing over to the left side. I guess all the weight has been removed from that side, so now it's starting to tip a bit. Doesn't really have any rolling drops that I can see. Down to 2.8k materials remaining. Although the Copper Serpent doesn't seem to be taking much more damage anymore. Not sure if the sniper has been disabled from dealing damage anymore or what's going on. Yeah, it seems the APSs are disabled. Not sure what the reason for that might be. But in any case, cannot fire any longer. Possible that it could repair itself. Although we'll see if the Copper Serpent can catch up in damage within the next 2.5 minutes. It is almost out of materials, so it may soon also be unable to fight any longer. It does not have materials to shoot the missiles. Down to 700. Copper 7 is now out of material. Which likely means that the only weapon that was doing any damage, which is the missiles, will no longer be able to fire. Yep, and it seems like neither opponent is able to fight anymore. And I think this first round, going by remaining health, will go to the sniper by jeoshy. Don't think there's any meaning in waiting out the remaining 50 seconds. I think nothing is likely to change, so let's move on to round 2 of this match. Okay, we have the Copper Serpent on the right and the Sniper on the left this time. And ready to fight in 3, 2, 1, fight. So again, the Sniper is starting to do its damage. Consistently stripping armor for the majority of the match. Seeing if those missiles are able to do some kind of good damage at the start, I'm not sure. Taking off some blocks there. So far the Sniper doesn't seem to be shooting itself yet, which is good. But the missiles are putting in some good work there. Copper Serpent still appears to have 3 able-bodied APS, and of course the all-important missiles on the back are still intact. Missiles seemingly having a slightly easier time finding their mark this time, possibly. And the Sniper seems to be doing its thing where it lurches back and forwards a bit. Unfortunately not having too much in the way of missile defenses. See, it's taken off quite a significant amount of blocks there. There's a big gap in the front now. And here comes the next barrage. And this time it seems like the Copper Serpent is leading on the materials, while the Sniper is lagging behind slightly. Only 2 minutes in. Match is going a little bit faster than the last one, maybe. Copper Serpent down to 78%, however. You can see that only 1 APS remains. Not that they really contributed a whole lot, but nonetheless. And the detection tower is holding on by a few blocks. Sniper is taking not significant damage. Seems like only one of the APS is still able to fire, the other one looks like it's mostly parts of it doesn't seem to be functioning. This could be good news for the Copper Serpent potentially. If we can take out that remaining APS, then it will have free reign, which appears is what has just happened. Sniper is no longer firing, while the Copper Serpent still has plenty of materials in reserve to continue pounding with missiles for some time yet. Still plenty of time left in the match. You can see that APS every now and then manages to make a hit, and some kind of impact head as it seems to knock off good chunk of blocks. Starting to really expose the internals of the Sniper now. And the Copper Serpent may just catch up on health. Sniper is sort of just bombing about now. Copper Serpent's still got one active APS. It's looking quite Swiss cheesed, but still able to fight. That APS is possibly not terribly accurate anymore, although it still appears to have some detection left, which is good. AI seems to know which way to shoot the missiles. This is looking like it may soon turn in the Copper Serpent's favour. Maybe seeing a round 3 here. Still plenty of time and materials to go. That next missile barrage coming in. And Sniper is just barely ahead on percentage now. And it's now fallen behind by a little bit. Yep, and it's well and truly taken ahead in percentage now. That said, it is repairing, so while unlikely, it is possible it could repair itself back up. With that, I would say probably not very likely anymore, because the engine has been blown out. You can see all the parts floating away. Copper Serpent almost out of materials, but well and truly ahead on health. More parts of the engine being blown off. And the Copper Serpent is out of materials, and the Sniper is practically out of materials, unable to fight. I don't see it repairing 11% within the next minute, so I will call this in favour of the Copper Serpent, and we will move on to round 3. Alright, round 3, the decider. Got Sniper on the left, Copper Serpent on the right. 3, 2, 1, fight. Starting off in similar fashion, those APS, consistent shredding of the armor of the Copper Serpent. Or that missile barrage managing to make its way through the anti-missile defenses. Both craft on a similar amount of life. Those missiles managing to be quite effective. Just a case of whether they can take out those APS or not. Both opponents on practically the same health. And there goes that tower, detection tower. All three APS still functional, however, which is quite impressive. Jeyoshi's sniper taking quite a bit of damage. However, both guns still able to fire away. Oh, and a potential explosion there. Bit of slowdown. You can see there's a hole inside there. Sniper has taken the lead, however, and the Copper Serpent is looking slightly worse for wear. One APS completely gone, another just looking like it's probably disabled, and the one still firing. Potentially hitting their ammo storage, I'm not sure, but there was an explosion there at some point. Could have been the APS. Missiles still firing away. Sniper with only one active gun. Hoping for that lucky shot to take out the last one. Yeah, and speak of the devil, it seems like the other APS is now disabled. This may be a win for the Copper Serpent. Copper Serpent slightly ahead on materials and about equivalent in life at the moment. The sniper does not appear to be able to fight back any longer. Those APS are well and truly disabled. The APS is still functional, as are the missiles. Still got some detection on the back there. Sniper down to 80%. And it's looking very much in the Copper Serpent's favour. Looking like it's very much most likely a win for the Copper Serpent at this point, but we'll let it play out for at least a few more minutes. Both opponents on very similar materials, although only one of them able to fight at the moment. Sniper down to 77.5. The Copper Serpent is on a slightly better 85. Okay, Copper 7 is out of materials and is leading by 12% with only 2 minutes left in the match. The Sniper is down to quite a low amount of materials. I think I will have to call this in favor of the Copper Serpent. So well done, airpnp. You've made it to the grand finals, I think it is now. Yep, you've made it to the finals, and jeoshy will move down to the losers bracket at a chance at getting another crack at it if he can make his way through there. Alright, this is the losers brackets round 3, and in this match we have the Cram God by Jardog on the right versus the FSV6 Marshal by Eternaldoom on the left. So this is the Marshal. You may be familiar with it from the other Newbie Rumbles. It's got pack turrets on the top and simple weapons on the sides that act as anti-munitions, but mostly for looks, I think. Nice design. And over here we have the Cram God, which is fairly simplistic in its design. It's a giant cram and not a lot else happening, although given that the Marshal has to drive into close range, it may work in the Cram's favor if it can survive, and I look forward to seeing if it can. And let's get ready to go in 3, 2, 1, fight. There goes those packs. Did they hit anything important? Can this cram shot make it? I don't think so. Very close, but not quite. Cram cannon appears to still be intact. Moving in closer for a better chance at hitting. Both opponents ominously quiet, and there goes the next cram shot. Can it connect? Oh, ever so close, and there goes the packs. Not hitting anything important by the looks, just the armor. And now the cram cannon is getting dangerously close. Can it make a connection? Yes. Big hit there. Big chunk of blocks, as well as parts of the pack. The front pack getting cut off. Oh, big hit from the pack there. You can see lots of the cram cannon getting knocked out. You can see it's had a big chunk of it taken out, but it may still be able to fire. I'm not sure. Does not appear. Oh, there it goes. Oh, and taking out that second pack turret. Very satisfying in a very satisfying manner. Look at that. Look at all that. Well, the pack's still firing. Managing to take out a few blocks, but looks like mostly wood. Probably nothing terribly important. So this front pack is only still partially functional. While staring down the barrel of the God's cram cannon. Oh, and getting ricocheted. Seems that an inertial fuse probably would have been in order there. Slowly circling each other. So the big gap where the turret used to be. Somehow the explosion's penetrating the hull. I'm not sure how that works, but apparently it does. Going underneath, I guess. Yeah, you can see the big hole. So the round exploded underneath. Another huge hit from the cram cannon. Knocking a massive hole there. You can see the heavy armor surrounding the pack turret. Both opponents on a similar amount of health. Although the Cram God still having the most potentially more deadly weapon still. Once again, getting ricocheted off. Really should have had a inertial fuse. Not sure what the chance is for it to ricochet like that, but it's gotten lucky twice so far. Some more parts of the cram cannon getting knocked off, along with some blocks. For some reason the turret is showing as gold. Don't really know why. Not sure if it's still able to fire even. It's been quiet for a little while. Seems like the gauge increases may have been damaged or something, or disconnected. You can see there is big gaps in that turret. Big chunks of it have been knocked out. Only having about 2 layers of metal armor is probably not quite enough. 2 or 3. Here's the Cram God is no longer firing, which leaves it open for the FSV Marshal to potentially get some damage back, but seems like both opponents aren't able to fire at each other. And they're both on almost identical percentages, however the Cram God has quite a bit more materials remaining. But if the Marshal can repair itself back to a higher percentage, it may be different. They're just slowly circling each other. If this goes on for about another 2 minutes, I may just call it, as it's not terribly exciting watching 2 boats circle each other. Appears that neither opponent is repairing themselves. Maybe they don't have repair bots, or maybe they were destroyed. Doesn't look like either opponent is going to attack any longer. They seem content to just slowly drive around each other. And I think I may have to call in favor of the Cram God. It is ever so slightly ahead on percentage and materials. Give him a few more seconds to see if anything could possibly happen. No, I don't think anything's going to happen. I will call this round in favor of the Cram God. It just edged ever so slightly ahead in percentage and got some of those lucky hits with the cram cannons that took out the Marshal's weapons. Neither opponent able to attack anymore. So we'll move on to round 2, the first round going with the Cram God. And we've got the Marshal on the right, the Cram God on the left. 3, 2, 1, fight. There's that pack barrage and the initial cram shot. Will it be able to connect? We're going slightly far. Cram God having taken no visible damage that I can see. Cram cannon still in firing order. And there's that next cram shot. And just missing. This time the pack cannon makes a good dent in the armor. However, the cram cannon appears to be still able to fire. Potentially only just hitting the armor. See if it can make a mark. Oh, didn't like that detection turret. He wanted it to die. Big hit from the packs. You can see it's poked a hole in the side now. If it continues to do that, the cram turret will be in trouble. Waiting to see if it can fire or not. There it goes. Oh, nice big hit there. However, it appears to have gone in between the turrets. It's still functional. Big hit there. And the cram turret. Something vital must have been destroyed, as it is firing what seems like blanks. Not sure what's going on there, but something important must have been out. See the big gap in the turret. This looks like it's the Marshal's fault, very much so at this point. Cram God unfortunately not getting lucky this time around with those cram shots. Trying to shoot the detection tower didn't prove very effective, unfortunately. And seems like it's broken. Marshal still on 98%, while the Cram God is on 82. And it's pretty much a sitting duck. Blocks going everywhere. But there's no shell coming out, which is very confusing. It's as if it's just shooting gunpowder with no shell. Marshal is out of materials. The Cram God, I don't believe, has any repair bots, while it is technically firing. It's just exploding instantly or something. Don't really know what's going on. Give it another 30 seconds, and if nothing much happens, then I will declare in favour of the Marshal. what's happening. And we'll move on to the decider round, the Marshal taking this one. So we'll move on to round 3, the decider. Didn't mean to push whatever I just pushed. Some kind of benchmark button, I forget which one it is. There we go. Okay. Got the Cram Gold on the left versus the Marshal on the right. In 3, 2, 1, fight. There's those packs going off on that initial cram shot. No go there. Moving into range for a better shot there. There's the next shot away. Not quite making it. Cram's making a decent dint in the front. Not hitting anything too important, I don't think. Now they're practically point blank range. It's up to this next cram shot to make the difference. Nice hit there. Blowing a huge chunk out of the back right side, but I don't think. And that was a devastating shot by the pack cannon there, going right into the turret. You can see all those parts of the cram cannon getting destroyed. Is it still able to fire? I'm not sure. It's been quiet for a little while now, and there it goes. Ooh, making a good hit there. A huge chunk of blocks off. And they're duking it out. That was a much weaker hit by the Marshal. Oh yep, you can see why. There's a giant hole in the backside somehow. When that cram hits, it is devastating. Question is, can it still fire? Ooh, right in the detection turret. And that detection is really low. See, more parts of the cram getting knocked off. May not matter. Both opponents on similar amounts of life. Nice hit there. Looks like the engine's getting knocked off, and again another huge hit by the pack cannons, pack turrets. You can see about half of the cram turret is now missing. May still be able to fire, however. Ooh, bouncing out of the water there with that hit, and it looks like it destroyed part of the motor. I'm guessing there's going to be a great big gap somewhere inside. Yep, you can see, look at that. Huge hole. Seems like the cram round penetrates and then explodes. Quite devastating. That maybe the Marshal is almost completely out of materials now. I guess that shot, that lucky cram shot, did its damage, and if it's still able to fire, then the Marshal is soon to be in big trouble. That said, the cram god hasn't fired in a little while. Oh, there it is. Oh, and just missing. Still plenty of time though for it to make a few more hits, especially as the Marshal is now completely out of materials and most likely won't be doing much movement either with the engine. I mean, that's where the engine was. Oh, huge hit there. Knocking out a nice big chunk. Look at that. Clearly see where the explosion radius was. It's almost unfair. Marshall is like a sitting duck. Once again, going for that detection turret. Goodbye detection turret, tower, room, thing. Somehow it's still be able to move forward. Don't know how, but it is. Not for much longer though. With that hit, wow. No, I'm staying corrected. It's still able to drive. The Crab God is well and truly ahead on life now and materials and still able to fire, while the Marshall is just mostly a wreck. Taking out that side fin type thing. And the Marshall is finally looks like it's biting the dust. It's below 80% and sinking. So this match will go to the Cram God by Jardog. Well done, you will move on. Unfortunately, that is the last we'll see of the Marshall in this tournament. Alright, in this match we've got the Hibernia class destroyer by Yetiyonga on the left versus a fine slice of American cheddar by Awesomeness 371 on the right. This is the Hibernia class destroyer, largely missile-based craft with some APS on the top. Over here we have the fine slice of American cheddar, which is an absolute ton of casemates that I think fire Hesh rounds. So they will mess up your internals. And let's get ready to rumble. In 3, 2, 1, fight. Is that initial barrage? See the missile spam is away by the Hibernia class destroyer. Apparently not having a missile defense and blowing up lots of stuff. Hibernia class destroyer seems largely unaffected. And there goes that next huge missile barrage. See those Hesh rounds getting in there, but not doing much appreciable damage. Missile barrage seems super effective. So that's Swiss cheese in this cheese. Hibernia is still at 5%. Taking devastating hits from those missiles. Resources, however, if it damage that won't necessarily matter. round. Got the fine slice of American cheddar on the right, the Hibernia class destroyer on the left. In 3, 2, 1, fight. Here's that initial barrage, which I don't think just flew over the top. And here come the missiles. See the decoys decoying those torpedoes. Not quite enough though. Missiles not quite enough interceptors to deal with that monstrously large barrage of missiles. And the slicing range is down to 90% now. Those torpedoes chewing them. Next devastating missile barrage. Hibernia class destroyer has taken a bit more damage this time. It looks like both ABS have been knocked off. However, still able to fight. Oh no, it's down to 0 materials now, sorry, my mistake. Oh, the slice of American cheddar still has plenty of materials. Not sure where all of the Hibernia's materials went. Possibly those hash rounds went to ignite the ammo caches, I'm not sure. But the Hibernia is a sitting duck. Just a case of, can the American slice of cheddar make a dent with its remaining weaponry? It seems to still be able to fire, however it seems most of its guns are underwater. Not sure if that impacts its ability to connect its hits or not. I can hear it firing, but I don't see any of the rounds making it. They seem to be flying underneath. One or two hitting, but others just passing underneath. Seems its ability to stay buoyant is crippled. If only it had some cavitation, it may have a chance at making some connections. Very interesting turn of events. See if they can have a look where the ammo may have been stored. See that ABS is very badly damaged. Repair bot there. What it's worth. Guessing this is where the ammo was. But it appears to be largely intact. So I'm not really sure what happened with it. So while the American slice of cheddar can still fight, it has questionable effectiveness now. Don't think it has any repair bots. Any repair bots it may have had have probably been blown off by that EMP missile barrage. Still able to fight. We'll give it its moment. to get the rounds to where they want to go. See the anti-tank launches, not quite enough, and the anti-missile defense is just gone. Oh no, there it is. Not enough to stop that many missiles. Unfortunately, with all this detection, it's pretty much almost. It's making some hits now and then, but for the last 2 minutes, it's only done about 1.5% or so. Could have been some of the passive sooner, but I think that only works in detecting missiles, and I think it works detecting craft very well unless they have their own sonar, which I'm not sure if this craft does. Let me have a look. Oh yeah, it's got an active sonar, so it's possible that it's detecting the craft with some level of effectiveness. The superstructure are very much still intact, just that it's missing the APS. And I guess the material storage, wherever that was hidden, is likely been damaged or destroyed. Still got 3 minutes in which the fine slice of cheddar has its chance to recoup that health difference. Although, given its inability to connect its shots, it seems unlikely at this stage. Minute and a half to go, and the Hibernian class's destroyer's health has not really moved much. "30 seconds to go. The Hibernian class destroyer's health has not moved, and I'm going to say there's no chance that the fine slice is going to make up 20% of the remaining time. So congratulations to yetiyonga, your craft will move on. Unfortunately, this means the elimination of the fine slice of American cheddar, and I'll see you all in the next video for the Semifinals. The losers. Semifinals.